Hi,
Maybe she's
Andrew.
not.
I'm good.
Hello,
I'm good.
Lucy.
Yes. It's
How are
also
you feeling this
rainy here.
conference?
It's
Yes,
also
it is.
rainy
It
here
is.
in Jakarta.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Since last night.
Yeah, last
Yeah.
night is bigger.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very true. Like the rain is never ending. I just hope kayak nggak datang. Oh, flood. Please not flood. Not like last year. So, the weather makes us calm, makes us ready for this conference. Jadi harap yang the participants out there who are joining this conference, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're prepared to present your papers, especially in this weather. Now, the registration is still until 7:50, so we're waiting for the participants. Are you excited to see?
How many people
Mhm.
are registered?
Yeah, many.
Good,
It's true. It's true.
good.
And we're very excited, especially tadinya this conference, fun fact, we were about to make this conference before the pandemic. Itu not virtual, but rather, in real time, like face to face. Tapi sayangnya the pandemic came. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I'm gonna leak it. Like it was supposed to be in August because of this COVID-19. We had to move it December. hmm Very fun. I do miss Hawaii.
Yeah, me too. I was there last
Mhm.
Thursday. So as I have to go to Wisma Atlet to
Oh.
give PAPR, the pump air purifying respiratory that our lecturer made it. So I give 20 of them to Wisma Atlet for the tenaga medis to use that PAPR. So
Oh.
I think based on the testimony, that tool is very helpful to breathe well, better than masker. But for sure that technology is a bit, uh, yeah, much uh, heavier than masker, but still is a good tools for doctors and medical assistants,
That's
especially
great.
in the hospital. They have to use that kind of tools because in the hospitals it could be many virus going around in
Oh,
the
yeah.
air. So so the thing is so sad to see the doctors working in the hospital. They have to keep the health well, but and also they cannot go home as many patients come. So we provide only 20. Indeed, the chairman need about 1,000, but
Mhm.
we are university, so it's not industry, so we cannot provide more than 100. So by then, even in that hospital, they need about 1,000. You can imagine how many hospital in Indonesia and how many medical assistants. This could be millions. We need that kind of respiratory tools.
Mhm.
But if we import it from outside, the price is around 20 million.
Oh my goodness.
Uh,
That is
so
a
very
lot of money.
expensive.
Mhm.
The tools that we make is about 3 million. So it's 10%, about 10 times cheaper. than than the imported one.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, but when I saw the campus is very empty,
Yeah,
not too many
it is.
people. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's it's okay. We have to face it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Possibly we have to go back to campus, next year. And I haven't been to Hawaii since March. That's like 10
Oh,
months ago. Ooh.
yeah, yeah, same thing.
Mhm.
In March 16, I was in Banjarmasin for a meeting with some university in Banjarmasin. And then when uh, my department of IPB knows that I was in Banjarmasin, so I have to isolate myself at home. So since at that time, 18 March, for about 1 month, I am happy. I was not sick anyway, but this the regulation. I couldn't go outside, so I stay at home. And but even now, I stay at home usually. But now I can go to market with my wife.
Mm-hmm.
To in Bogor, we have market bersih ya, pasar bersih
Yeah.
in Sentul. Yeah, in Sentul. So we go there almost every morning.
Oh,
Very
that's
nice
so
place. Yeah,
cool.
very nice. We can have nice cafe, but we have to make a distance with the other people.
It's true. Yeah, it's so hard listening to them. We have to distance ourselves.
Mm.
It's very hard. Well, Professor Dr. Aswatam, it's a very lovely to have this conversation with you. Mhm. We
Yeah,
love it. And
thank you.
what we love it. All right, so for the participants of SCELLE, I would like to remind you to please change your format name according to the contents book. And there are still different using different names, so I hope you can perhaps the operator can help with that. Remind me in the chat room. So yes, here we have 2 minutes left until registration and until opening. Very excited, very nervous. Ooh, I'm excited. We have several universities with us. We have the University of Ibn Khaldun Bogor. We have the University of Kristen Indonesia. We have a university. We have so many universities. Don't be shy. Put some laugh. We also have many guests here. Uh, Perhaps we can wait a little longer until the opening. 1 more minute. Very nice. Lovely. Let's see who's here. All right. Ooh, interesting. We have Nuralita being very pretty today.
How many campuses, Andrew?
We have about 5. We have
From
more. Yeah, from all over the country. We have Ibn
yeah.
Khaldun. We
Hmm.
have University of Kristen
That's good.
Indonesia. Yeah.
Uh, any campus from Manado? No.
No, I don't believe so. I don't believe
Uh,
so.
next year's could be so
Amen.
we
If
can
this
start together.
if this event is successful, ada lagi tahun depan. Amen
Yeah.
for that.
So this is the first time, or
Yes, it is the first time. It is the
oh,
first time.
good. That's good.
Yes, yes. And the first time to lewat virtual, so we're very
Yeah.
excited. All right, so to all the participants, it's 7:50 a.m. So I hope you changed your name. And thank you so much to Professor Dr. Yasin Rosaikuddin for having this lovely conversation with me. I truly appreciate it. I do appreciate it. I truly do. So we shall begin our event. Ooh, I'm nervous. I'm nervous. Oh, ini kampanye kok pada mendung semua. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Smile. Smile. All right. So, welcome everyone to SCELLE me. Ooh, we're so excited. What SCELLE stands for? Well, like I said before, SCELLE stands for Student Conference of English Literature, Linguistics, and Education. Remind you of that. Remember. We love it. It's our branding now, SCELLE 2020. Let's hope it's also SCELLE 2021. Amen to that. So how are you? How are you all feeling today? Can I start with calling some names? Can I start with Miss Marlika? How are you feeling today? We have a few minutes.
Oh my God, I'm feeling so good today because it's Scales Day.
It's DJ. It's Monday. Udah Monday. It's also DJ. We love it. We Oke, jadi kayak bentrok semuanya sekalian.
Yeah.
So we have here, yeah, very true, very true. Who else we have here? Maybe like someone from outside Hawaii. Maybe we have someone with a camera on. We have Mr. Yawan.
Yeah.
Hello. Mm-hmm. Yes. How are you feeling today? Oh, perhaps he's having a connection problems. We can, skip that part. But welcome everyone. Please welcome yourselves and please make yourselves at home in this very lovely virtual conference. It is absolutely our first conference, but it will not be our last if we pray hard enough and work hard enough, because this conference is through the blood and sweat of the blood and sweat of our members, of our students from the English Language and Culture Department. So please give it up for them and for us. For we have worked hard. Amen to that. So after this opening, we have a singing of Indonesia Raya because of our patriotic heart, of very our love towards this country. We love this country so much now. And to start off, we should sing Indonesia Raya to commemorate our independence, to commemorate our celebration of the spiritual conference that we're having. Thank God. So perhaps for the operator, you may begin. Oh, yes. Please do stand up for our national anthem during this
Okay.
Indonesia. Please, for the operator, you may begin. Please stand up. You may all sit back down. Very interesting. All right. Next, we have, well, since we are in the University of Al Azhar in Indonesia, we have the malicious recitation of the Holy Quran by none other than Miss Salma Azhara. Miss Salma Azhara, the stage is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Salam. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya ayyuhalladzina amanu idza qila lakum tafassahu fil majalisi fafsahu yafsahillahu lakum. وإذا قيل انشزوا فانشزوا يرفع الله الذين آمنوا منكم والذين أوتوا العلم درجات والله بما تعملون خبير يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا ناجيتم الرسول فقدموا بين يدي نجواكم صدقة ذلك خير لكم وأطهر فإن لم تجدوا فإن الله غفور رحيم أأشفقتم أن تقدموا بين يدي نجواكم صدقات فإن لم تفعلوا وتاب الله عليكم فأقيموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة وأطيعوا الله ورسوله والله خبير بما تعملون. O believers, when you are told to make room in gatherings, then do so. Allah will make room for you in His grace. And if you are told to rise, then do so. Allah will elevate those of you who are faithful and raise those gifted with knowledge and right. And Allah is all aware of what you do. O believers, when you consult the messenger privately, give something in charity before your consultation. That is better and purer for you. But if you lack the means, then Allah is truly all forgiving, most merciful. Are you afraid of spending in charity before your private consultations with Him? Since you are unable to do so, and Allah has turned you in mercy, then continue to establish prayer, pay alms tax, and obey Allah and His Messenger. And Allah is all aware of what you do. Quran Surah Al-Mujadilah, verse 11 till 13. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you to Miss Salma Azhara for that wonderful and soft recitation of the Holy Quran. Alright, next we have the greeting from the chair of the committee, none other than Miss Siti Sania Kohar. You may call her Siti, you may call her Sania, but you can call her Kohar, that's her family's name. And we love her, we love her. Please welcome to the stage Miss Siti Sania Kohar.
Okay, thank you. Ya, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Ya, alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wa bihi nasta'in wa ala umuri dunya waddin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in amma ba'du. The Honorable Rector of Universitas Al Azhar Indonesia, Profesor Dr. Insinyur Asep Saifuddin, the Honorable Dean of Faculty of Humanities, Dr. Faisal Hendra, MED, the Honorable Head of English Language and Culture Department, Dr. Lucy Liantiantari, SSMHUM, the Honorable Lecturer of Universitas Al Azhar Indonesia, the Honorable Sekolah Relawan, the Honorable keynote speaker, parallel speaker, and invite guests that I can mention one by one. And don't forget the Honorable all participants, and don't forget all my beloved committee, SCELLE 2020. First of all, let us pray and praise to Allah. Because of His blessed and mercy, we can attend the spiritual conference with healthy condition. And salawat and salam we deliver to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. It is an honor for me to have opportunity to deliver greeting in the Student Conference of English Literature, Linguistics, and Education, or SCELLE 2020. Actually, SCELLE 2020 is organized by English Department Student Union, or EDItion, or in Indonesia it called Keluarga Mahasiswa Program Studi Bahasa dan Kebudayaan Inggris Universitas Al-Azhar Indonesia, with an exploration to cultural reflection as the theme of the conference. Diverse cultures are a prominent part of Indonesia, whether it is a ceremony or even from a single greeting like this. And the different existent culture represent not only different time and place, but also reflect the ideas, behavior, and norm of a society. And SCELLE 2020 will hopefully assist students and scholars to understand that issue. And the 3 paper from keynote speaker and also 22 paper from English students from various parts of Indonesia are expected to enrich our perspective on cultural reflection, especially in literature, linguistics, and education. And SCELLE 2020 also hold a charitable donation for the one who affected by pandemic. And SCELLE 2020 cooperates with Sekolah Relawan to distribute that donation. And I think that's all from me. Thank you for your attention, and I hope everyone will participate in this conference and enjoy the virtual meeting. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Miss Siti Sanya Kuhar. Yeah, we love her. We as family of the English Language and Culture Department are absolutely grateful for her for being chair of this committee. Without her, she won't make this virtual conference happen. Amen to her. Next, we have the head of English Language and Culture Department. Who is she? She is a mother to us all. She is the moment. Please welcome Dr. Lucy Lian Piansari. Please, Miss Lucy, the stage is yours.
Okay, thank you, Andrew. Ya, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin, wassalatu wassalamu ala asrofil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi washabihi ajmain. Amma ba'du. The Honorable Director of Universitas Al-Azhar Indonesia, Profesor Dr. Insinyur Asep Saifuddin, MSc, the Dean of Faculty of Humanities, Dr. Faisal Hendra, MED, the keynote speakers, the lecturers, the head of edition, the chair of SCELLE committee, all the presenters, the participants, the representative of Sekolah Relawan, and the committees. First of all, let us express our gratitude to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. So we still have the help today to hold the first Students' Conference of English Literature, Linguistics, and Education, or SCELLE. This conference is the first students' conference that is organized by the English Department Student Union, or we know as Keluarga Mahasiswa Program Studi Bahasa dan Kebudayaan Inggris Universitas Al-Azhar Indonesia, with the theme an exploration to self and cultural reflection. This conference is held online because we know that the COVID-19 pandemic still limit us from doing many mobile activities. However, I believe that this limitation should not prevent us from participating in such academic events. The online conference provides a channel for students to share and discuss their research findings. And there are 3 invited keynote speakers from Universitas Al-Azhar Indonesia, and 22 presenters from several universities will deliver their paper today. We really hope that all the presentation and discussion are expected to broaden and deepen our knowledge. Since this conference is held during the COVID pandemic, we also provide a charity donation to help the ones that affected by the outbreak. And in this event, we are in collaboration with Sekolah Relawan. Our department wants to acknowledge the conference organizing committee, the edition board members, the faculty of humanities, sekolah relawan, and all the conference presenters and participants. This conference could not be realized without the support from all who contributed to making it happen. I'm so happy and proud of all of you guys. So you can hold such event in the midst of this condition. And I believe that your hard work will be paid off. I hope that this is not the only conference we perform. I hope that we will meet again in the following years. Okay, so thank you, welcome, and enjoy the conference. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Dr. Rusdianti, for that outstanding speech. All right, now we have the Dean of Faculty of Humanities from the University of Al-Azhar, Indonesia. Please welcome. Is he Dr. Faisal Hendra? Is he here? Dr. Faisal Hendra? All right. Since the dean is currently not here at the moment, it's okay. It's all right. Don't panic, everyone. I'm very excited for him. But we also have another guest star. Is also the moment. Who is he? He's a professor. He's a doctor. He's an engineer. He's a professor, doctor, engineer. Asad Saifuddin. Ooh, director of University of Al-Azhar, Indonesia. Isn't he amazing? Please welcome Professor Dr. Engineer Asad Saifuddin for the stage. All right.
Thank you, Andrew. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
First of all, let us thank to God that we have this kind of opportunity to meet you all. We meet together, although we only have a silaturahim in front of the screen, but this is the best way to silaturahim in this kind of situation, as we have the COVID-19 pandemic this moment. I really appreciate what the student make for this event, which is not easy, I believe, as the student cannot meet each other in place. So it's not easy to communicate, to coordinate, and to decide something without meeting actually in place. Therefore, I'm very sure this is not easy, but I'm very proud that the student can do this conference with many participants from all over Indonesia. Also, although this event is the first time in UAE, and in the same time you have difficulties due to COVID-19 pandemic. So I really appreciate you very much. And also thank you very much to Ibu Lucy as well as Pak Faisal, who always guide our students to have very beneficial activities, useful activities, not only for our students in our campuses, but also other campuses in Indonesia that Andrew mentions, as also Sania mentions earlier, that we have from outside of Jakarta. And I would like to thank for the participant who come to this first event of SCELLE, Student Conference of English Literatures and Linguistics and Education. I really appreciate that name as you indicate, understand that literatures, linguistics, and education are very important this moment as and also for the next near future and the future. This thing that cannot be replaced by the technology. We can use technology to increase our understanding on the multi-cultures and multi-ethics in literatures, linguistics, and education. But your understanding on linguistic, literature, and education cannot be replaced by computer. So this is this human activities. Many activities may be replaced by computer, but literature cannot be replaced. Culture cannot be replaced. So we can increase our richness on culture as we are in Indonesia with multi-ethnics, so we can understand the difference among us, including the difference on religions. So we have to respect uh, the difference of religions. We have to tolerate the difference. And these skills may improve our understanding on the difference. Therefore, I give many time for you to this kind of event. I really hope these skills next time will be added by I scale. I stand for international scale. So not only our brother and sisters from our country, but we can also invite our brother and sisters from all over the world, at least from ASEAN. So say after 2 times, after next 2 years from now, we can have eye scan. For next year could be still scale as we still embryonal stage. But 2 years from now, I really believe that you may do ISCELLE, International Student Conference of English Literature, Linguistics, and Education. That therefore we can have lesson learned from, for example, IIUM in Kuala Lumpur, Monash in Australia, INSEAD in France, Sorbonne in France, Harvard in America, including my alma mater in Canada, Guelph University. When I was in Canada, Department of English is really one of the best too. Yeah, I was not in that department as I was taking my PhD in population medicine, but I understand that the English department in my campus is also one of the best. Yeah, so could be uh, invited next year. We can we can invite them virtually. It's not necessary they have to come to Indonesia. Although the pandemic is over, we can still have a virtual seminar, not because of pandemic, but also technology is available to do that. So we can have something like hybrid seminar if we do not have pandemic anymore. We hope that one. So again, thank you very much, Ibu Lucy. You always give support to the students and the other lecturers. And today I heard that we have three uh, keynote. One is Ibu Lucy, the second one is Ibu Sherin, and the third one is Ibu Nida, if I'm not wrong. So they are very great lecturers. So take the benefit from them. And also, if you present some papers, you may discuss with the students. You may contribute something rationally, and it is very important exercise for us. It is very important training for us uh, that I didn't have when I was student. So you have this kind of opportunities. When I was student, I didn't know that Indonesia is very large because I always in Bogor. So we do not have any virtual technology. But now my student can have some opportunity to see all over Indonesia using technology. So we are very rich country. As Andrew this morning said, we have to love our countries. We live in a beautiful country. So make our country happy, make our country peace, and make our country health. Who make it? It is human. Yeah, our activity makes them happy. So if our country happy, all human, all people in Indonesia will be happy and they will be creative. So we can provide welfare to our community. Again, thank you very much. I am very happy to have a small speech this morning. I am sorry if my deliver is not your expectation, as my major is not in English, but I am hoping that you can improve and increase your understanding to the richness of Indonesia. By understanding the richness of Indonesia, we do not want to destroy Indonesia. We indeed develop Indonesia, not only materially, but also spiritually as well as literary. So you are in this kind of expert. I'm hoping you become great expert in the near future in literature, in linguistic and education. Thank you very much. And I will open this first scale by saying Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Terima kasih. Billahi taufik wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for having listening to us successfully. If there was a gong beside me, I would like literally gong it because of this wonderful, wonderful speech. And let's clap our hands because SCELLE 2020 is officially open. All right, very nice. All right, in the midst of this joblessness, crisis, recession, it's great to have a beacon of hope for these hard times. A very, I'm sorry to hear. That's what Queen Elizabeth II said. All right, now, on to the next event, we will have a photo session. Very nice. So please, the participants, open your cameras, adjust your cameras, please. Open your cameras and be ready. Pose, vogue it up, baby. And the person who will take the picture is Nuralita. Please, Nuralita, take the stage.
I'm here.
All right.
Okay, just open the cam, please. There is para one participant and the presenters. Okay, I will take a picture 4 times because there are 4 pages here. Okay, start with the first one. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, next. Pokoknya senyum aja udah. 1, 2, 3. Okay. The third, 1, 2, 3. And the fourth, 1, 2, 3. All right. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Nuralita.
Thank you, Miss.
You have a great photography skills. All right. So who's excited? I'm excited. The main event is here, everyone. Keynote speaker session. I bet you all will be filled with insights and knowledge when you hear this session. All right. We have three keynote speakers. First, we have Miss Nida. Second, we have Miss Sharon. And third, we have the lovely introduced Miss Lucy. All right. So who will be first in this very interesting session of keynote speaker? Well, I would like to also introduce the moderator first as well. We have Miss Azani. Miss Azani, are you there?
Yes.
Ooh, hello, Miss Azani.
Yeah.
Are you ready to moderate this very interesting session?
Yes, of course.
All right, all right. Oh, and thank you to the Rector of the University of Our Donation for attending this virtual conference. Thank you for attending, and God bless us all, and God bless you. Amen to that. Yes, ma'am. All right, Ms. Azani, you take the stage to moderate this very fabulous conference. The stage is yours.
Thank you. Wait a minute.
Oh, I see there's a connection problem happening with Azani and the audience. It may seem that she's not lagging, but in real time she's actually lagging. So don't be shy, it's okay. I will introduce the first speaker first, and then she will continue moderating the event. Okay, first up we have the lovely, the best, the amazing Miss Vida Maisa with her research paper titled The Practice of Asynchronous Learning Through Online Platforms and Its Advantages for Students' Language Skills and Learning Experiences. All right, I hope you all listen because this is very relevant to our current situation. Miss Vida Maisa, the stage is yours.
Hi, Andrew. Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. Can you hear my voice clearly? Just want to check if everything is going well right now?
Yes, we
Yeah.
can.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Hi, Andrew. So, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Miss Lucy, Miss Sherin, all the committees of SCELLE, and all participants and students who have come to this session. Thank you so much. Good morning. It's good to see you, right? It's good to see your faces in the camera. You're looking good, everyone. Now, so the topic that I want to share right now is about the asynchronous learning. Thank you so much. I choose the topic because, as you know, now we're in this situation, in this pandemic situation, where we cannot meet with each other face to face. We cannot see you. We cannot do all the tangible activities that we normally do, right? And as the director said before, nothing can actually replace the direct interaction, the direct communication, and everything. However, I'm actually trying to look at the bright side from this darkness. So I want to talk about the asynchronous, which is like the darkest part of the online learning, where we do not meet, right, the learners and the teachers. And the context that I'm bringing up here right now is the EFL context, the English as a foreign language. So, as Andrew said, the title is here, The Practice of Asynchronous Learning Through Online Platforms and the Advantages for the Language Skills and Learning Experiences. Okay, let's look at the next slide. Okay. Now, as we know, people favor the traditional classrooms, of course, the face to face, where you can meet your friends, you can interact, you can build your motivation. But we cannot also avoid the fact that technology emerges, right? And then we have to actually exploit this something new that's coming to us. We cannot avoid that, right? So now we have online, we have blended, yeah, which is the combination of the synchronous and asynchronous. So you have to know that since we cannot meet face to face, the synchronous should be done virtually, right, via Zoom or other platforms. And also, to avoid boredom and all that, we have the asynchronous, right, where the students are given assignments, are given things that they have to do alone without the direct supervision of the teacher. And this is actually the one that I want to highlight here, the asynchronous. So, why do we question asynchronous? Of course, it cannot be as effective as the synchronous, but let's shed more light on this. And let's go to the next slide. Now, I want to ask to the asynchronous learning, where can you bring us to? Okay, I'm sure that all of you are very familiar with everything that's provided in the internet, in your laptop, in your cell phones. In here, in the screen, we have YouTube, we have blogs, we have LMS, Google Classroom, email, you name it. And I'm sure you're all familiar with these. But in the EFL settings, what can teachers actually do with these tools? What can they do to actually encourage learners who are now at home to actually improve their skills and experience? And we will take a look at the studies actually that I have reviewed and see how the teachers implement this asynchronous learning with the students. And let's start with the writing skill. You can go to the next slide. Thank you. Now, in the writing skill, teachers usually use 3 platforms. It doesn't mean that the other platforms do not work. They do. But here, usually they use emails, blogs, and LMS. I'm sure you know emails. I'm sure you know blogs. But LMS, maybe I'm going to explain a little bit about the LMS. LMS stands for the Learning Management System. It's not like Google Classroom in a way that it's more directed, Okay, so the theme is very clear in LMS. In LMS, students can go in and follow all the instructions. It's all embedded there, right? And it's usually more task based. Most LMS, especially those that focus on the virtual reality and the virtual world, it's real. For example, like this, there are several LMS out there, and I'm going to just talk about one. This is a writing LMS for writing. So let's say you're a student learning English as a foreign language. You go into the software, and then you will find that there's an article, real article. All right, it's not an article that is designed especially for foreign language learning. No, it's real article that we take, let's say, from the internet, and then you have to analyze the content of the article. You have to absorb it. And then after that, the LMS will direct you to do several things, right? Before they ask you to give something as an outcome, you will have to interview. You don't have to interview the people who are involved in the article, no, but you can interview some people who may have a say about the article, and then you will be directed to, for example, researching about some places that are discussed in the article. So even though the assignment is there in your computer, but in the process of doing it, you at the end you have to go out, you have to practice, you have to interview, you have to research, and that is the fun. And at the end, you will have to, for example, create a summary or make a report or something. So from here, we can see the technology has helped us anyway, right? And with the emails and with blogs, they're pretty much the same, but the difference maybe is in the email part, because now there are so many webs out there that actually house a lot of language learners, not only English, and they allow these learners to actually communicate with each other, learning each other's native language. So it's not like me going to a community and talking to another Indonesian learner, no, but it's like me going to the web, okay, exchange emails with, let's say, an American who also wants to learn Indonesian language. So in this community, basically, we give each other's advantages. I communicate with this person in Indonesia, helping him, and at the same time, he also communicates with me in English. He helps me in a way. So from these samples, we can know that the technology actually has opened up more opportunities for EFL learners. And that is very good because we have to remember that in Indonesia, English is a foreign language, right? And we don't really have the access to use English daily. We don't really have the access to meet with the native speakers of English. So technology opens this for us as well with the blogs, right? So teachers basically use blogs for posting things, right? Mostly it's about writing, okay? So we give students some time to write what they want to write, okay? To consult dictionaries, to check whatever sources they need. So students will have more time to actually think what they want to write, more time to prepare, and somehow the result shows that with better time, right, with the time given for them to prepare, the production of their language becomes better as well. And now let's move on to the speaking skill. Okay, thank you. Now, it's actually the same as the writing skill. All the skills that I'm talking about here are basically integrated. Like if you remember the part where I explained about the LMS, um, even though the outcome is actually writing, but before that you have to go through the speaking session as well, right? The interview part, and then the researching to the place part. So you have to go there, you have to speak, you have to practice the language. But what about the speaking skill itself? It's actually the same as the writing. So results show that with more preparation, right? Because with the asynchronous, you don't have to do the things you have to do in the current time, right? Because you have plenty of time to prepare. So you will have also plenty of time to, let's say, contribute in a forum, right? The picture that I'm showing here is Moodle. It's almost the same as Google Classroom. It's managed by a teacher. So teacher can open a forum where students can put comments, can put ideas and thoughts, and the end product could be presentation, which is speaking. So at home, students can try to absorb the topics, and of course, teachers' help is needed in here as well for any pragmatics context. Let's say you have to, for example, present in front of a certain audience. Well, teachers need to build up this knowledge before, right? Of course, it's very important as well. But with the plenty of preparation time, when students are faced with the synchronous session, it will be even better for the students. They could be more prepared, they could be more ready, and in a way, they could be more confident. And the last one, we have reading skill. Okay, so almost the same as the other skills, the internet, the online articles now provide us with a lot of news from around the world, right? We are able to access more authentic materials, something that EFL learners may not get in the classroom setting because usually they learn with their textbooks, the passages that are designed for EFL learners. But this time with the authentic, they will be more aware of what's going on in the world, and that is actually an experience that is new in a way, something that perhaps now they are forced to do, okay, forced in a good way, I mean, and that is good. But in this case, still, help from teachers is still needed because in reading, students actually have to be aware of the strategies. They have to be educated first about how to read, how to enrich your vocabulary, right? How to find main ideas, for example. It's still needed. But with the asynchronous, they will have plenty of time to actually explore what they can explore. And if the teacher is actually pretty open minded about things, they can give some freedom for the students about what kind of articles they want to discuss, what kind of articles they want to search, especially with the ease of the internet now. Even when you open an article, you can see a video there, you can see hyperlinks there. So everything is connected and all is good. So everything that we do right now, everything that we're doing, even though we are bored with that, right? Even though we feel that we don't get the connection, you have to remember that you are actually learning. It's not like teachers leaving you roam around. No, it's actually teachers giving you a chance to explore yourself, to explore the world. So you're actually learning. That's one thing for sure. And next. Now, so after talking about this and that, I'm sure that there are drawbacks, of course, because like I said, I think everyone agrees that no one favors asynchronous learning 100%. Traditional classroom still wins this competition, okay? I know that there are challenges like lack of motivation. Like I said, learners do not meet with friends, so they're demotivated. Problems with internet connection, and I think that's what I'm having right now as well. And then commitment, metacognition, and um, how students actually have to have this big commitment. Because with asynchronous, who wants to look at you, right? Who wants to check if you're actually doing the task? No one actually checks, right? What you know is that you are given an assignment and you have to do that. But if you think about it that way, you will feel that it's a burden. But if you actually realize, oh, I'm actually learning and this is fun and I can commit it to this, it's actually good. So the positive things could outweigh the negative things when you're actually when you change your way of thinking a little bit, okay? Because as you see on the right side with the green color, you can manage anxiety with the asynchronous learning. Take your time, prepare things, right? You can explore the culture and the world in a way you're more flexible in learning. And the most important thing is that you take ownership of your own learning process. And that is very good. That is a very positive feature of the asynchronous learning. Okay, I think that's all. So we come up to the conclusion, I guess. Okay, so I have two major conclusions here. So basically, technology has helped learners, EFL, English as a foreign language learners, widen their communication horizon through the abundance of online platforms. And we have to remember that asynchronous learning complements the traditional classroom practice, complements, not work solely as like the only learning method. No, it complements and it enables students to explore materials they're not regularly exposed to and increase the engagement itself. I think that's all.
Thank you, Ms. Nida. It was a very, very good presentation.
Thank you, Azani.
Yeah, I apologize for before have a problem. Is there any question for Ms. Nida from the audience? Is there any questions? You can turn on your microphone or you can chat me privately if you are trying to do that. If there is still no question for Ms. Nida, I would like to ask about something. Ms. Nida, you mentioned about manage anxiety, and I'm curious. Asynchronous method for us children is actually kind of make us feel a lot of pressure. So how you manage it as a teacher?
How I manage what anxiety in students?
As a teacher and students in your point of view.
Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. I heard you well, but I'm sorry if I misunderstand because it's a little bit lagging in here. So if you're talking about anxiety with asynchronous learning, it actually helps learners who, for example, actually the basic and the easiest example is the speaking, because when we talk in front of the people, usually learners are anxious, right? Because they have to do it in front of the people, they have to do it in front of their friends who are probably smarter than they are. So in a way, these kind of anxious students can use the asynchronous time for improving their own speaking by, for example, talking to themselves. It's actually a good practice for speaking. But as a teacher, managing students' anxiety is not an easy task because I personally, since I'm an English teacher as well, I personally approach these anxious students personally. Let's say it's a big class consisting of 20 people, let's say. I can spot directly, oh, these ones are anxious. I know that they're anxious because they're sitting next to someone who is more outspoken and all that. I know that. And usually I approach them personally. I try to get even more like deeper interaction with them, asking how they are, the difficulties, and usually it works for these students. So yeah, I think that's all.
Okay, thank you for the answer, Ms. Nida. Okay, from the audience, is there any questions? No? Okay, Ms. Nida, I think that's enough. And I'm willing. Okay. Is there any question?
I want to ask to Miss Nida.
Okay, Fauzan, please.
Thank you, Azani.
Yes.
Do you have any, what do you say, let's say, any tips and tricks to improve your speaking skills, either for teachers or students, without being anxious, speaking in front of people? Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you, Fauzan. You know what? Actually, anxiety, nervousness are part of every human being, I guess. Even before I speak right now, even before I speak, I was actually nervous as well. But one of the things that can reduce anxiety is actually ability. When you have the ability to do it, you will be more confident, right? So it's actually, well, yeah, it's impossible if you only boost the confidence alone without the skill. So we go back to the skill, and with the speaking, talking to yourself is actually one of the tricks. I don't know if you are able to do that, but it works with me. For example, if you do not have any friends who you can talk to in English, because it's hard, right? Like, for example, just you with your friends from English and literature department, you talk in English in public places. You feel like it's not that cool, right? Because we're in Jakarta, it's cooler if we talk in Indonesian with the South Jakarta words. So if you don't have partners to talk in English, just talk to yourself. Uh, for example, you read something and then you pretend as if you are giving a comment to that article. Or in speaking class, prepare a lot before you actually do the mid test or before you actually present something. That works. I know that when you hear what I'm saying right now, I know that you're thinking, oh, it's so easy. Yeah, easy. So do it. That's all.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank
You
you.
know, fun fact, I sometimes do like, I pretend myself to be a YouTuber and review something in English. Is that cool, Miss?
That's cool. But do you actually upload that to your YouTube channel? Do you have a channel?
No, I don't, but it's just in my imagination.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I like it.
Miss.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Fauzan, for the questions, and thank you, Miss Vida. Is there any other questions? Is there any other questions? If not, I will continue it to the next speaker. I will count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay. So I think there is no other question.
Thank you, Azani. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And let's continue to the second speaker. She will talk about understanding cultural diversity through multicultural literature. For Ms. Shirin, the present time is yours.
Okay, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Ms. Shirin.
Okay, I hope everybody is healthy here, doing well, everyone, in this such a trying and hard time. Yeah, well, there are a lot of faces that I recognize here in the small windows, and you all look very fresh. Yeah, so that's a good sign, actually. I hope no one is depressed yet. Or are they? Are there? No? Okay. Well, okay. That was a very interesting presentation from Miss Nida. Yeah. Thank you, Miss Nida. And I will continue as the second presenter in this very interesting conference. Yeah. Held by our students. Okay. I don't know whether are there a lot of participant from outside this campus. Are there?
Yeah.
If not, yeah, okay. So I'm going to introduce myself first. My name is Sherry Sabah, and I am one of the lecturers in Universitas Al Azhar Indonesia. I I teach literature, and mostly my research throughout these past years is in the scope of multiculturalism and multicultural literature, and that is what I will be talking about today. Okay. First of all, is the sound clear? Sound clear enough? Hello?
Yes.
Yes, it is, Miss.
Okay, so I'll continue. Okay, so today I will be talking about multicultural literature, yeah, as a response towards the condition that we are living in today, which is diversity. Why this is important? Because, yeah, well, like we all probably know and see, we still are living in a how do we call it, problematic condition or diverse society. Sadly to say, that is the fact, yeah, that we're seeing. What am I talking about? Probably you can see from around you or where you're in right now, there's still a lot of conflicts related to identity and cultural diversity in in your society. Okay, so my point is, I'm still hearing sounds. I don't know. Is my sound okay? Because I'm hearing sounds from, I don't know.
It's clear.
Yeah.
It's hearing.
Okay. Because I thought that somebody was trying to interrupt. There is a problem with technical issues, right? Okay. Anyways, I'll go on. Okay, so the title of my presentation today is Understanding Cultural Diversity Through Multicultural Literature. Okay, next. Okay, so where do we start then? If we're talking about multiculturalism, we have to draw back, into the 1980s, where the term multiculturalism is firstly coined. Okay, so in the beginning of the 1980s, the term multiculturalism as an ideology first appeared as an act of protest against the domination and hegemony of the white Anglo-Saxon Protestant culture in various aspects, including education, language, history, cultural expression in all sorts of ways, mass media, and literature. From this aspects, we can understand that multiculturalism first exists to protest in almost every aspect that we're living in. Why? Because all those aspects contains all these problematic cross-cultural issues. Yeah. Okay. Next. Okay. So, okay, so what are the problems here? What are the issues containing diverse society? Yeah? Cross-cultural problems, an example, are those concerning identity crisis. We see this a lot, in today. Discrimination to a certain group, yeah, prejudice, stereotyping, yeah, the perspective of essentialism, or in a simpler word, we hear ethnocentrism, yeah, that is also a form of essentialism, yeah, acts of superiority and inferiority. I think probably everyone, mostly everyone here agrees with me that we still see this, yeah, around us, if not particularly in our close group, but we can see this around, yeah, what's happening in our country, for example, are all the conflicts are related to these problems, right? Okay, so these matters mentioned are in contradicting with the multicultural basic ideology, which is to respect and appreciate differences. Okay. So why do I talk about conflicts around the world, but I'm talking about multiculturalism that first appeared in the US, because that's where the first term is coined, you know, but then it spread out towards all the world. Okay, okay, next. Okay, so if we're talking about the concept of multiculturalism, of course, we have to mention, yeah, this person that I share the photo of, yeah. His name is Stuart Hall, and he is probably known as the father of multiculturalism because of his concept, his basic concept of identity, cultural identity, that is then used by a lot of scholars everywhere. Yeah. Okay, so what is his basic concept of identity? I'm trying to simplify here what he says here about modern identity, that is no longer a fixed matter. Yeah? So identity should not be seen as a fixed matter. In other words, it's identity should be seen as something that is fluid and dynamic. Yeah, why? Because of these four factors. Yeah. First, the increasing awareness and incidence of mixed ancestry. Yes, so no one nation is seen as self-defining. We see this, of course, yeah, what's happening in the world today and the condition we're living in, yeah. A lot of people come from a mixed race, yeah. So, for example, let's not go too far. Mostly all of us here are from different ethnic, right? If your father is from Java and your mother is from probably Sumatra, yeah, that is also considered a mixed race. So my question is, who are you then? What is your identity? Yeah, according to Stuart Hall, that is not a question of matter, because if we're constantly pointing out that question and issue, that will serve as a conflict in the end towards someone's understanding of self. Okay. So the next factor, yeah, is increasing awareness of and identification with differing countries, yeah, tradition, values, and beliefs. Yeah. Of course, we are interconnecting with a lot of countries, yeah, and culture, and where we're living in, yeah, in this globalization situation, yeah. Is it the question, yeah, the question that Paul tries to point out, is it still important to maintain, yeah, extremely to some extreme point, whether your, for example, let's say your country's value and tradition is still, should be maintained in a certain extreme point. I don't know whether I'm making sense, but if you want to ask, you can ask later on about this, about what Ms. Sharon is trying to say here. Okay, so the third factor is a self-built life story, he said, that is no longer felt to be determined by class, race, or gender. So, according to Hall again, we would be happier, simply said, if we're not pointing out all issues around us based on class, race, and gender. Okay, so usually people who are in identity conflict, it's because we are seeing this factor, for example, class, race, gender issue as something that is fixed and not dynamic. Okay, when that is an issue, then this certain person will be in a crisis of identity. Okay, the last factor of condition is a questioning of traditions, and lifestyle due to global interconnection. Global interconnection is something that is rapidly coming, rapidly rapidly going on, and it's unavoidable. And so this is also a factor that is related to why identity should not be defined as something that is fixed. Okay, next. Okay, so Paul then, points out, that identity has no stable inner core, it is not fixed in any way, but instead is formed and transformed continually according to the ways that it is addressed or represented in society. This is very important in understanding self, or identity, which is continually transforming, who you were, let's say, in your who you were when you were small, for example, let's say when you were 5 years old, and who you are now is probably not the same person. I don't mean totally different, but you have transformed, of course, continually. How? You transform continually by the ways that you connect, that you connect with, let's say, other people, how people see you and who you connect with. How you see others as well, and also how you are represented, This means your what do you call it? What's the term? Let me figure out the right word for it. Represented in society is your position, your position in society. For example, what I'm trying to say here, who you connect with your friends is as a friend, but when you connect with your lecturer, for example, you are a student, who you connect with your family at home, you're probably a son, a daughter, and so on. All this is your identity. Okay, who you connect with your country, for example, you're Indonesian, for example, but then if you go outside, outside this country, for example, you can form other identity, and that is fine. Okay, next. Okay, next. Nah. Okay, second figure that I want to point out, I want to talk about, yeah. His name is Amin Malouf, and his concept is, of course, influenced by Hall, but he talks much about what is happening in today's conflict or today's issue of identity. He talks a lot about identity in relation with violence. Yeah, there he wrote a very interesting book. Yeah, it's called "In the Name of Identity, Violence, and the Need to Belong." This is very interesting and important because it relates. Yeah, it relates and it answers to what we're seeing. Yeah, around us. Either it's in this country or in your close society or what's happening in the world. Yeah, all issues of violence or all issues of conflict, he says, is related to the matter of identity and, of course, how we perceive or how we understand identity in particular. Yeah, and that is when we set up the wrong definition or understanding of identity, that's where then conflict happens. Okay. So what, this is a very interesting quote here from his book. He says that if people cannot live their multiple belongings, yeah, this is related to what Hall points out, that people are, people have a multiple identity, yeah? So if people cannot live their multiple belongings, if they constantly have to choose between one side or the other, yeah, if they are ordered to get back to their tribe, he uses the word tribe here, but if we can understand it more clearly, it's probably a lot of things, nation, ethnic, gender, and all. We have the right to be worried, yeah, about the basic way the world functions. Yeah? So this is important. Yeah. Okay, next. Okay, so Malouf believes that at the root of much of the world's violence, like I said, that is happening today, are tensions about identity and belonging. Yeah, all violence that is happening, he sees that it's caused by just actually a simple matter that should not be happening. It's only about how we perceive, identity, and how we perceive who belongs here and who does not belong there. And when you are in the different group, then that is actually a matter to some people, and that is where conflict happens. Okay, so he also says that stereotypes, matter whether they come from within the group or outside of it. Reducing people's identity to narrow categories, he explains, can lead to violence. Yeah. So embracing someone who someone presents themselves is also important in the matter of multiculturalism or the matter of defining identity. It's not only about who you are, but also embracing who others are in their own way of style. Okay, next. Okay, so I have talked about the general concept. Yeah, of course, I have to start there. If we're talking about multicultural diversity, I have to talk about multiculturalism and who are the figures behind it, because that's the underlying concept that we're dealing with here. Okay, so back again. I will be talking about literature, multicultural literature, as a response to all this situation. Well, this is not talking about problem solving, yeah, because problem solving should come from a lot of aspects, but this is just one of a lot of ways that probably can contribute towards what we are talking about from the beginning here. Okay. So multicultural literature, yeah, is actually literature about the social cultural experiences of underrepresented groups, yeah. This literature includes those who fall outside the mainstream of categories such as race, ethnicity, religion, gender, almost everything, sexual orientation, disability, and language. And so multicultural literature is a subgenre, yeah, mostly, although not always, yeah, written by those who come from groups that are underrepresented or groups that are not the mainstream groups, yeah. What am I talking about? Who, if there is the term underrepresented, then who are those who are represented? Well, from if you learn about the history of literature for a long time, yeah, the represented groups are those that I have mentioned earlier, yeah, the white, Anglo-Saxon, Protestant. Those are for quite a long time that are considered the mainstream, yeah, the majority in literature. Yeah, so who are these? Again, the underrepresented are those who fall outside this category, yeah, usually those who come from culture or ethnicity or situation or condition that are usually subculture, yeah. What is the other term for it? I have it in mind, but I forgot. Minority, yeah. If you have heard the term the other, yeah, all those are the condition that these authors come from, and they talk about all this issue, yeah, from their point of view. Okay, next. Okay, I think this is next. I've explained this. Okay, next slide. Okay, so why should we all read multicultural literature, or why should we teach multicultural literature, or other questions, probably why should we include multicultural literature in our curriculum? Yeah, because it has a significant role in my perspective towards the condition that we're living in, yeah, with all the conflicts in it. Okay, next. Okay, so why multicultural literature? Multicultural literature serves, yeah, as a powerful tool in enabling a better understanding of both own culture and the cultures of others. This is important, yeah, when we read a lot of multicultural literature or works, yeah, we get this better understanding of our own culture, and of course we are exposed to a lot of cultures around us, yeah, because all these authors that comes from different backgrounds, yeah, different backgrounds of nation, of ethnicity, of gender issues, or language, yeah, we understand, yeah, something or aspects that are different towards our own, and this is important in forming an understanding of tolerance, yeah, of understanding differences, and we get that from what we read, yeah, believe me, it does. So multicultural literature then foster positive self-esteem, yeah, nurture respect, empathy, and acceptance among all. Yeah. Okay. this is also an important point. Yeah, of course, if we're talking about the condition of diversity and all its conflict, what we need is a lot of respect, a lot of empathy, a lot of acceptance, yeah, towards what is different and who is different from us. Yeah, this may seem common sense, but it's true. Yeah. And we get that, yeah, either consciously or unconsciously from what we read. Yeah, what we read shapes the way we think. Yeah, that is a fact. And if we read a lot of multicultural literature, this is what we get. Yeah, we get a lot of basic understandings of empathy and respect and acceptance of other cultures or other situations that is different. Okay, can we continue to the next slide? All right, so okay, so multicultural literature then helps global awareness. Yeah, looks critically at the world by portraying current cultural issues. Of course, if we see contemporary authors nowadays, they talk much about global issues. Yeah, what we see around us nowadays. Yeah, and so if we read a lot of these works, then this will benefit us, yeah, into critically accepting or understanding what's happening here in the world. When students experience the feelings and emotion of others through literature, they are encouraged, yeah, to look critically at the world and gain a greater understanding of the global community. This is a fact. Okay, next slide, please. Thank you. Okay, as it has been discovered that when students can relate global events to themes, conflicts, and characterizations found in multicultural literature, it then helps them to better understand the current world issues. Yeah. The basic concept of reading literature is to understand all these elements. Yeah, for example, in prose, yeah, we understand all these aspects through the elements such as themes, conflicts, characterization, and all that. But in particular, if we read a lot of multicultural literature, we then get a better understanding of this issue of cultural diversity and identity and differences and all the conflicts that we see around us. Okay, so students therefore develop greater cognitive skills, of course, as they learn to engage with and critically evaluate the text that they read. Okay, I think that's the last slide. Is that so? Yeah, well, I have listed some authors that I have probably used, yeah, in class or in my research, yeah, all these past years, yeah. These are some important multicultural issues from various backgrounds that are, in my perspective, important to read, yeah. But other than this, there are a lot more. Yeah, there are more multicultural literature that is not listed here. These are just examples. So my point is, we're living in a very concerning condition. Sadly to say, in my opinion, and if I may just give a suggestion towards how we can respond to the situation that we're seeing here today is, but yes, simply, of course, from my background. So that's why I'm talking about literature. Yeah, by probably reading multicultural literature, yeah, as a respond towards a better understanding. That's what I'm trying to point out towards how we see ourselves, others, yeah, the society that we're living in, the issue that we're seeing, yeah, around us and globally, and most importantly, how we understand violence, yeah, violence and all these cross-cultural conflict and problems. Yeah, so my suggestion is please read more, yeah, multicultural literature. But that's all from me. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Shirin. It was an interesting presentation. Is there any question from the audience?
Can I ask?
Okay, go ahead, please.
You mentioned that we gotta be happier if we don't classify ourselves, but what if knowing our identity is actually an act of self-discovery, maybe, so that we can grow into our roots and outwards? Is that still valid, or that's what I'm going to ask you? Thank you.
Okay, should I answer directly?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, of course. Well, probably the main this is one important understanding of identity is, of course, not to how do we say, to forget our roots, of course. Yeah, that is what Paul, yes, what Paul emphasizes, that the root that sticks with us is there. Yeah, but we're continually transforming. You understand? So, for example, let's say, Nafisa, where are you from? Or where are you born?
In Jakarta, actually.
So Jakarta will always be a part of you, okay? But is it necessarily important, probably, to exclude people who are not Jakartans, for example? Or is it necessary, important to see probably people from Papua as subordinated to us? Yeah, that is what I'm trying to say here. Root matters, yeah, but don't make a root as something that is fixed to then exclude people who are, yeah, back as your example, Jakartans, for example. Yeah, what we're seeing today is, yeah, some still see probably people who are living in the city or the capital as superior than people who are living, for example, in the remote area. And that is wrong. That is just a simple example. But in our situation today, we see something that is increasingly more concerning, yeah, than just that. So, is that clear, Nafisa?
Yes, it's very clear. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nafisa, for the questions, and thank you, Shirin, for the answer. Is there any other questions from the audience? No? Okay. Michelle, I want to ask you about the change of time. Yeah, the change of time. Do you think the shaping of person's cultural identity has transformed significantly by the change of time? If yes, how it happened?
I'm sorry, I did not get your question because my connection here is
okay.
Well. Can you repeat the question?
I will repeat again. Do you think the shaping of person's cultural identity has transformed significantly by the change of time?
Oh, okay.
How does that happen?
of course, because the situation that we're living in, we're living in a situation where we can move constantly, right? And that is easy. I mean, moving is not just moving physically, but you are living in a situation where you can gain a lot of information. Yeah, you can access a lot of things that in the previous situation is hard to do. Also, yes, you can move dynamically from one place to another. That, although not always directly, but indirectly transform your identity, of course. And of course, if we're talking about us as a self here from the beginning that we were born until now, yeah, we have experienced a lot of situation. Yeah, we have interacted with a lot of people, different people. We have lived in a different situation. Yeah, and all those, yeah, either people or experience or places or what we see, what we feel, everything, yeah, even the language that we learn, yeah, it shapes us, yeah, whether you like it or not, yeah, unconsciously or consciously, that shapes the transformation of your identity. Simply to say you're learning, you're most here are my students here from the English department. You're learning a culture and a language that is not your own. Yeah, consciously and unconsciously, it transforms your identity whether you like it or not. Yeah. What am I talking about? Let's just reflect toward yourself, have your perspective in some way change. Yeah, after all these experiences, that is what I'm talking about, and that is how the transformation of identity happens. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Shirian.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Is there any other questions from the audience? Don't be shy. Or you can chat me through the chat room. Okay, no, or I will count it to 10 again. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I think no one wants to ask. 9, 10. Thank you, Ms. Shirin, for your time and your interesting presentation. I will continue to the next speaker. Have the third topic, trends and challenges of computer-mediated communication. This topic will be presented by Miss Lucy. Hello, Miss Lucy. Good morning.
Hello, Dani. Good morning. Hello, everybody.
Okay, Miss Lucy. The present time is yours.
Okay, thank you. Ya, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everybody. So, dear lecturers, dear students, all the presenters and participants, thank you for still joining this meeting at this moment. As the third speaker, I'm going to talk about trends and challenges of computer-mediated communication. Actually, this topic is related with the first speaker, Ms. Nida, talking about one of the implementation of computer-mediated communication, or we know as CMC. The acronym is CMC. Okay, the first, I'm going to introduce myself, maybe for the participants outside from other universities. Okay, so my name is Lucilian Piantari. I'm a lecturer of English Language and Culture Department of UAI. and also the head of the department. I focus on linguistics for my research, and right now I focus more on the digital communication. Okay, so maybe we can go to the next slide. Yeah, as we know that with the development of the internet nowadays, we know that we change the modes or means of our communication. Yeah. So we are not only, we do not only talk face to face, yeah, or we meet people directly, but we also use many other means or tools to connect with others. There is one what we call by computer mediated communication. The name is computer mediated communication because it a kind of communication through network computer. Okay, so it is operated by the computer systems such as yeah, maybe now everybody, almost everybody, I mean, that have gadget using handphone at least to speak with others, to connect with others. And then we also use our laptop, for example, or computer to send some emails, or maybe to have some chat, or maybe we use our social media to interact with others. Yeah, for example, like we can reply our friends' tweet, or we can chat our friends through the direct message on Instagram, for example. So that there are so many ways to communicate with others nowadays. It's not only meeting people directly face to face. Basically, there are three types of communication, computer mediated communication. So it is mediated because we do not communicate directly, but there are means that that are mediated as between one person to another person. And basically, there are two modes. Yeah? Synchronous. Synchronous is like if we chat with someone and then the other person can reply us directly. For example, if we use chat rooms, yeah, if we contact other people through WhatsApp, yeah, through lines, for example, we can have the response at the real time. But asynchronous, like maybe you have already listened to Miss Nida explanation, it needs sometimes, for example, like emails, although actually now the boundaries between synchronous and asynchronous is quite ambiguous or not clear, because in our handphone, for example, we can insert our mails. Yeah, for example, we have Gmails, and then we can put our Gmail account in our handphone, and then we can directly have the notification if somebody send us emails. So actually the borders between synchronous and asynchronous now is quite confusing for us. Yeah? But for the synchronous one also, we can make it delays. For example, like in WhatsApp features, you can turn off the, what do you call it? The blue signs. The blue signs, it means that people will know whether we have already read the messages or not. For example, actually, if we hold our handphone and then we open the chat, is already we already read the message, so it will change into the blue signs. For example, we can turn off that notification. So as the user, we can modify whether we are going to be known synchronously or asynchronously. Actually, yeah, that's the new way. Actually, it's not new. We have already done this for several years. Yeah, but yeah, it changes, and it always changes until now. I mean, the way we communicate with others. Okay, the next one. Yeah. in this occasion, I'm going to focus on the evolution actually, or the Herring says it's co-evolution of computer-mediated communication. So there are three phases. There are three timelines, three lines in the development of computer-mediated communication. Okay, so we are going to back in the 80s. The phase one is stage one is it is called the pre-web. Pre-web. It's the time is about 1983 to 1993. Actually, internet had been created far before 80s, but the use of internet publicly starts around 70 or 80s. But it's very limited. I mean, the use is very limited. So maybe you haven't been born at the time. Okay. So we at the first generation, the internet is used only for emails. Mailing lists. Do you experience mailing lists? I don't think so. Okay, because I experienced the mailing list. Okay, so there is news group. Okay, so there is a name of internet relay chat. Okay, and then the American online chat. And then standalone client. So we are not connected like nowadays. Client not interoperable, text only with emoticon, but it's a very simple emoticon. Unlimited users. At the first generation of the internet user or the computer mediated communication user is mostly males in the USA and UK. Okay, so this is the first phase. The second phase is maybe the next one. It's around 90. It is called Web 1.0. It is 1994 to 2003. So when the word triple W was introduced at that time. Okay, so web chat, web forums, and then blogs, wiki, graphical virtual world. IM, ICQ, SMS, graphical words is already developed at that time. Video chat, it starts with video chat, and then the convergence of computer mediated communication. Okay, and the internet spread to other countries. And the user is not only male because according to the history, the first user of internet mostly are males. And in the second phase, it is already spread to increase to many users. Okay, so maybe I don't know whether you when were you born actually in 1990, 2000 or 1999 or maybe still at the time. But this is 1994. I still remember when I started to know what is internet at that time. Okay, and then the third phase, it is called Web 2.0. It's around 2004 2017. The difference between Web 1.0 and 2.0 is already more sharing site. So it's social network site. Okay, the social media networks has a very progressive development in this time. Okay, so we have microblogs, like Twitter, for example. It's only limited for I don't know, maybe now is 280 characters, for example. And then more bandwidth because we use more videos, audios, graphics. So maybe now we can have we don't have to meet face to face with our friends, but we can use the video call, for example, when we want to know when we want to experience like the direct face-to-face, although actually it's still mediated because we use the screen. Or maybe we can send the voice note if we use WhatsApp, okay? Maybe we are tired in typing the words, yeah? And then we just record our voice. Or maybe we can send some stickers. Maybe we never thought before that we are going to have a communication with our friends through stickers, yeah? We spend hours to send stickers, yeah? Okay, the laughing stickers, the sad stickers, yeah? Or maybe the GIF, yeah? With the photos of some artists, some famous people. Okay, maybe we never thought before that we are going to interact with others, with our friends through the media like that. Okay. And so that's what we call by multimodal communication. So it means we use various modalities of communication, not only words, but we use the pictures, we use the sounds, and then we use the recorded audio, yeah, we use the recorded video, okay. So we can edit, for example, we have already made the video and then if we don't like it or we think that we cannot send some correct messages, we can edit it, yeah. And then we have interactive web communication. So for example, like even in YouTube, for example, we can have a chat there if there is the live session or like not live session, actually live broadcast from YouTube, so we can have a real-time chat with other audience, for example, if you see there. Okay, so the distinction between web and non-web virtually disappear. Yeah, okay, so maybe it is become like traditional face-to-face interaction, but still we have something that separate us, yeah. In this case, a screen maybe. Okay, the next one. Yeah, actually now it's already 2020. There is what we call by Web 3.0. Yeah, the difference between Web 2.0 and 3.0 is in Web 3.0 we already involve the AI, yeah, artificial intelligence. So for example, now you can have a conversation with machine. Okay, you can, for example, Google asks you something and then you record your voice. How are you? Okay, okay, and then hello, and then the Google said you are Korean. Okay, maybe because you sound like Korean people, for example. And then if you want to contact some customer service, and then the one that answer you is the answer machine, for example, that's also the thing that involves the artificial intelligence. And in the next years, in the following years, the artificial intelligence will play a big roles in our life. Yeah. So I don't know, maybe later we cannot differentiate whether the one that we talk to is the real human or not, for example, because they become more similar like human. Yeah, I mean from the intonation and then from the emotion. Okay, so that's the development of the technology. But if we see some features, if we are see from the textual features, because we are from language department, there are some specific characteristic of CMC, textual features. Yeah, it's not CMS actually, CMC textual features. For example, maybe we notice that for the ones that were born maybe before 2000, yeah, or maybe before 1990s, the differences in register, in the language registers is a very, what is it, obvious. For example, maybe we tend to simplify our sentence, okay, because of the space, or maybe we because of the, what is it, the atmosphere that we think the space of our computer, our laptop, or our handphone is not too wide, and then we have to make it simple. I mean, our sentence, or maybe because we always feel like in a hurry. If we have a chat, for example, like we have to chat it quickly, and then sometimes we make it abbreviation. There is an increased use of abbreviation, so everything is shortened. Sometimes I was confused if somebody texts me with this, saya bisa misalnya nanti BTW saya bisa kirim FN aja atau apa, for example like that. So everything is up and in abbreviation. Maybe if you are if you since you were born, you are already familiar with these types of features, it will be okay. I mean, you are not getting confused, okay? But maybe for some people, simplified register or the use of abbreviation will lead to the misunderstanding, for example. Yeah, but that's the reality. Yeah. And then simplified syntax. I mean, the structure of the sentence. For example, we don't use the complete sentence anymore. Okay, we just use a words, for example, or maybe a phrase to convey our messages. And then we use the formulaic phrases, like for example, if we have face-to-face interaction, like oh, something like that. Okay. Sometimes we have to feel that. Sometimes we have to feel that we have to do that, although it's actually the written text. Yeah. Chat is oral and written text at the same time. And then the acceptance of surface errors. We are okay with the typos, for example. Okay, if we chat many or long messages, for example, we tend to make many typos, but we can guess what is the people writing, yeah, or what the people wants to say in their messages. Okay, so the acceptance of the surface errors is okay. And then we use the emoticons to express emotional meanings, because sometimes it's hard to write down with words, okay, to put words to convey our emotions. So we prefer to use the emoticons. Is not limited to only the emoticons, but also the stickers, yeah, the GIF, or maybe what else? Yeah, other things instead of words to express our emotional meanings. Or maybe we lengthen our words, like kata siapa gitu ya. So the long a, for example, it shows something more than kata siapa, for example. Or we try to imitate, I don't know, maybe the sounds of our talk, our laughing, like weka 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 weka. I don't know why weka 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 is for laughing, yeah, or hehehe, or ha ha ha, or he he, yeah, or yeah, there are so many things to replace our emotion. Yeah. That's the textual features. Okay, the next one. Yeah, this also happens for the structure of the conversation. Usually, if we make usually in the formal conversation, for example, if we meet someone or someone's new, not someone's that are close to us, we have to open the conversation and closing the conversation. But sometimes, if we use the mediated communication through chats, for example, we just directly jump to the messages, yeah, without, for example, without addressing the our interlocutor, or and then after that we just leave the chat without saying goodbyes, for example. That's very familiar, yeah. That occurs a lot. And then different turn taking behavior. I think that's I believe that you experience this often. If usually in groups, for example, turn taking is, for example, if I say A and then the person, for example, I'm having conversation with B, so I say something and then B try to reply to my message. That's the turn taking. So I and the person, and then I and the person, and I and the person. If we have a face-to-face conversation, it's quite easy because sometimes we know when we have to be quiet when somebody says, for example, that, okay, listen to me until I finish my words, for example. But in the chat, sometimes my message in the group, especially, sometimes my message is already in, so we have to scroll down if we want to reply the message that we want to reply, for example. So the behavior of turn taking, yeah, when we want to reply to someone, it takes time. Yeah, it is delayed. So because we have to find the message first, and then sometimes we make mistakes in replying, right? We want to talk to A, but actually we reply to A, or sometimes actually our purpose is to talk to A, but the other person thinks that it's for her or for him, for example. Okay. And then the structure of CMC conversation needs explicit understanding or non-understanding indication, because if we talk with if we have a conversation with video, for example, we can see our friend's face, for example, and the intonation and the gesture, the facial expression, the body gesture. But if we use it in written chat, for example, sometimes it leads to the misunderstanding. So I believe that you experience a lot of misunderstanding in chat message. I don't mean to ask questions, but the interlocutor think that I ask questions, or actually I don't want to say in that way, but the interlocutor think that I say in that way. Okay, so that's the structure in computer-mediated communication. Okay, so as a conclusion, we have to accept that the next one. Yeah, we have to accept that actually there are rapid changes in our aspect of life, in many aspects of life. Yeah. Communication, social relation, education, maybe later when you have the parallel session, I see there are many presenters talk about the online learning, and then the health field, yeah, the entertainment, of course, the politics and others. So we can say that actually there is a new social practice, yeah, related with this digital era. And as a scholars, for example, you are students or lecturers, actually it needs a cross-disciplinary research. We cannot conduct the research by the single discipline in this case, because internet actually is a multidisciplines field. So it's very interesting actually to do the research in this area. Maybe if you are interested later in the online communication and online interaction, it will be a very challenging. Okay, so I think that's all for my presentation. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Ms. Lucy. It was a great presentation. Is there any questions for Ms. Lucy from the audience? While waiting, I want to ask Ms. Lucy, do you often find it difficult to understand your students' message when you're doing the CMC?
Okay, right now is not anymore.
Anymore.
But before this, of course, yes, because sometimes usually if my students using abbreviation, for example, I don't know what does he mean or what does he mean, for example. or if they use a different structure of the sentence that I know. But I think now I become more familiar with that.
And another questions, what is the most difficult thing you face by doing the CMC? The most difficult thing for you?
Doing the interaction, you mean?
Yeah, interaction or anything that you find it was very difficult.
The first one is the potential of being misunderstood, or I misunderstand somebody else, yeah, because it happens quite often when I chat through, using the written chat, yeah, the written chat. So that's why sometimes if I want to say something quite, for example, important or a longer message, I prefer to record the voice. I using voice note, for example, or I just can I call you? Because sometimes, yeah, it needs time to arrange the words. Yeah, it's difficult. To how to make sure that our message is correctly accepted by our interlocutor.
Okay, Ms. Lucy. Thank you for answer.
Yeah,
And
you're welcome.
are there any other questions from the audience? Don't be shy. I know it's kind of scary to talk. You can send me your message, your question through the chat.
Can I ask a question?
Okay, Fauzan, please.
Hi, Miss.
Hi, Fauzan.
So you mentioned it earlier that in a conversation we often give explicit messages, but my question is, how do we really give a clear understanding implicitly if we wanted to send an explicit messages so people can understand what our expression or our message really is about?
Yeah, that's actually quite difficult, Fauzan, because most of the time we think that people will understand what we mean. For example, that when I say blah blah blah, and sometimes I'm sure that people will understand what I mean. But actually, when I got the reply, I knew that he or she misunderstood my message, for example. So that's why maybe I try to, reread if I have time. I have reread my message before I send it, yeah, just to make sure. With intonation, I usually read aloud or read once. Twice or maybe 3 times my messages. If it is important, for example, it doesn't mean that if it is not important, I just send, because with our close friends, sometimes it's easier to say, "Oh, sorry, that's what not I," for example. But yeah, I think it's one of the most difficult. What is it? The most problematic area in messaging, doing the CMC, this one. But yeah, sometimes I just reread again the messages before I send it. And if I know the person, I will know how to convey the messages with certain structure of the sentence or certain registers, because everybody is unique. That maybe I can say like this to A, but I cannot say like this to B, for example. So the choice of word, the choice of the sentence, I also consider about that.
Thank you for your explanation, Ms. Lucy.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you, Fauzan, for the questions, and thank you, Ms. Lucy, for the answer. Okay, is there any other question from the keynote speaker, since it is the last one? Okay, no. Okay, Ms. Lucy, thank you for your interesting presentation.
You're welcome. Okay.
I will close the keynote speaker session. Okay, thank you everyone for listening to the keynote speaker session. I'm Azani, and see you later in the next parallel session. Andrew, hello.
Hello.
Please please take your spotlight again.
Thank you, Miss Azani, for moderating the keynote speaker session.
You're very welcome.
Yes, ma'am. All right. So, oh, I'm in a new place, everyone. Different environment. I look better here. Better lighting. Okay. So this is the moment for a lot of you participants that you are excited about. It is time for the parallel session. Ooh, excited. Are you nervous? I'm nervous. I'm nervous being nervous. So, okay, I would like to remind that this SCELLE virtual conference, it is, held during the COVID-19 pandemic. So it also cooperates with Sekolah Relawan to distribute donations. We are being charitable and help the ones affected by this treacherous outbreak. So perhaps any donations that we will receive will be directly given to them. Okay. So, uh, for the parallel speakers of the first session, please don't forget to change your username, your code, and so on, adhering to the conference book you were given. Are there any questions regarding it? We do have to wait though, because the operator said that it takes quite a while, quite a while. So please be patient, everyone, and you'll be automatically moved to your parallel room according to your name. So don't forget to change it. Once again, I will remind, don't forget to change your name here into the conference book, because if you won't change it, you won't be moved. So thank you, everyone, and good luck. Break a leg. Amen. Yes, ma'am. All right, we'll wait for the operator, Mr. Doni Safila. Amen. All right. The participants are being moved in as we speak, so may the odds be ever in your favor, and I hope you survive.
Dani. Dani udah kesambung semua. Don lu gue jadiin host ya. Halo, Don.
Iya.
Don.
Iya, ini di bawahnya yang untuk para 1B yang partisipannya untuk join klik. Nah.
Lu kalau UAS soalnya beda apa sama mau TS? UAS lu soalnya sama nggak mau TS?
Sama.
Oh sama. Kok aku ini gitu ya?
Tapi beda-beda. Ya kalau misalnya MKU kan
ini sama semua.
ngasih soal
Iya ini sama semua.
Iya.
Jadi gua copy aja jawaban. Iya. Mau mandi lu?
Mandi nih gue.
Nggak berenang. Mau berenang kalau di sini? Nggak ada. Ini apa jawab? Ya lo? Enggak, gua minum itu. Minum dingin. Sapi. Buset, David gadgetin no, tahu-tahu nikah David gadgetin, gila gak tuh?
Emang kita harus pasti ini ngasih tahu.
Nah?
Emang kita harus ngasih tahu dia nikah, kayak kita mau nikah.
Anjay.
Enggak, ngapain orang-orang nggak perlu tahu.
Mantap nih si David. Padahal dikirain jomblo. Terus nikah si David. Bangkit. Ini baru cakep nih. Cakep nih baru. Nih, daripada Anselma, ya Allah.
Aneh loh.
Iya, Anselma.
Iya lu aneh, ya kan?
Lu aneh, Anselma.
Sekarang jam
Sekarang hari Senin ya, karena gue bilang, lu gak pulang gitu.